All right. I won't forget to hit it. Just for the record, I'm DJ Mighty Iris from 103.3 The App, waiting for Dirty Heads to call me, or I think I'm going to have to call them. I'm not really sure. Just hang on a second. I don't know why I have this song Burn from Alkaline Trio stuck in my head right now. But I'm not going to sing it. And we have a caller. Hello.
Hi, I'm looking for DJ Mighty Iris.
Hi, that's me.
Hi, I'm calling to connect you with Jared from Dirty Heads.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
Great. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, you're on.
All right.
Awesome. Is this Jared?
Yes, it is.
Hi, I'm Iris. Nice to meet you.
You too.
If my voice sounds shaky at all, it's because it's really cold in this studio. My nipples are hard as fuck right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy. God. Okay, so welcome to Texas.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to tell you that I'm a new fan because we didn't always have an alternative station in San Antonio, and now that we do, My Sweet Summer was the first song I ever heard from you guys, and that was one of my favorites, right off the bat. So, and
nice.
your album's really, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're from California, right?
Yes.
What kind of radio station are you played on where you're from?
There's multiple alternative stations in California, so we kind of get played on those and some of the other. We don't get played just on alternative radio in California.
Do you get played on hip-hop stations?
No, more like the AAA and then some of the pop stations.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. And when did you guys get signed?
Well, our whole journey to now is we got signed when we were in 2003 or something like that to Warner Brothers, right when Napster and
LimeWire
music, all that stuff came out. So we got signed, and it was we were these young kids, and it was you're signed to Warner Brothers, you're gonna be these, huge successful musicians, blah, blah, blah. And then 6 months later, it was we don't know what we're doing as a label. Everybody's stealing all our music. We can't concentrate on a new band. We can only concentrate on these big bands. So we're going to have to shelf you, let you go. And we're well, what do you mean? All right, if you're going to let us go, at least give us the album back. And the head of Warner Brothers, his son was a fan, and he was actually a cool guy. So he was you know what, rather than holding you guys up and keeping this album and kind of screwing you guys over, you can just have the album and go do what you want with it. And we're thank you so much. They actually gave us the album back, and we wrote Lay Me Down, and that got picked up by a radio station in Southern California, and we were just on a small independent label, and it went to #1. So we did all of that and kind of built our fan base from being an independent band off of that first song, which was Lay Me Down, and that kind of broke us. And we'd always been touring off of that, and ever since we've been independent.
See, that is cool. I looked up some of your older stuff, and you guys, that's why this is intimidating for me right now, because you've been together for so long, and I'm just brand new, going into the whole Dirty Heads thing. So
no, it's good. I'm glad. New fans. It's awesome.
And what I do is I listen to the most current album, and then I go back. So I started listening to your dirty demos, right? And oh my God, and there's one song where you sample the Doors, right? And that's a very cool song. I've always loved that one. And my question about sampling something like that, is it something you have to pay for even though you chop it up? Does it matter how much you chop up that sample? Do you still have to pay for it, I guess, is my question, or can you just sample it?
Back then, we weren't signed to anybody, so if you're not signed to a label and you're not making any money off of a sample, if you're just putting out music for free, you can sample as much as you want.
Nice.
But as soon as you put it up onto iTunes or you put it up anywhere where revenue can come in, then either somebody's going to find you and take all the back catalog, or, when it comes to sampling, there's 2 ways you can get around it. Or 3 ways you can get around it. 1, just chop it up so much that nobody recognizes it and hope that nobody recognizes it. 2, you can hit them up ahead of time and be hey, we're sampling your song. what do you want from it? Do you want publishing from it? Do we have to buy you out? Or, you know, and then 3, you can put it out and they can come sue you and take all your money, like Pharrell and Ellen.
Oh, yeah.
That one guy, Robin Thicke.
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny because when that song came out, there was a younger person working here at our radio station. He's like, "Oh, I love the production of that." And I'm like, "Dude, they sampled that. That's Marvin Gaye, you know, and Michael Jackson, like in there." I don't know, it was crazy, but you know. So yeah, did you sample anything off of this new album?
No. After we on our first album, we sampled some stuff, some old reggae stuff, which was really cool. But it was such a hassle. To like find these old, like whoever owned it, or if the old reggae dudes were still alive, or if their family was still alive. Like it was such a pain in the ass. Like I don't know how like all the hip hop dudes do it. They must have like a whole team and a whole, like I know a lot of big hip hop acts like have actually sampling budgets. Like you have X amount of money to sample these stuff. So we didn't have that. So after we kind of sampled some stuff and realized, like, man, this is really a big hassle, like, we just pretty much stopped sampling altogether.
Oh, okay. No, because on Sound of Change, the very beginning of that song, Hear You Coming, there's a high-pitched, like, sound effect. It could be like a guitar sound effect or something, but it really made me think of the beginning to, do you remember that song, Tempted by Squeeze?
Yep.
Yeah, it made me think of that. It didn't sound exactly like it, but I just wondered. I was like, I wonder if they were listening to that when they created this song, or maybe they're a fan of that song. Yeah,
well, and there's another song called Zombies that I can't remember who does it, but no, that was all we just recreated. I mean,
okay, cool.
The cool thing is now, like especially now that we're better players and we, you know, like Duddy knows his gear better, or Dave, or anybody that's playing. It's like, we can like listen to something. We can listen to a song. Say, hey, I really love the tone of that. I really love the sonic of that guitar. I really love that line. Like, let's draw inspiration from it, not necessarily copy it or take it, but like, let's just kind of get a vibe like that, you know?
Okay.
And you can work off of that. So that song, when we did that one, it was definitely like, man, this is rad, but let's make it sound kind of old and run it through some amps, or run it through some preamps and run it through this to make it sound more vintage, or definitely, you know, like just mess with it enough to where it sounds similar to what you're going for, or that old vibe. Kind of like Amy Winehouse or like Leon Bridges. You're like, you hear them and you're like, is that old or is that new? Or is that Amy Winehouse, or is that some lady from, you know, the 50s or the 60s? You know, it's cool what you can do with production now.
Yeah, and I'm so interested in that because I DJ, like that's what I do, but I'm so like I always listen to, like, you know, when I hear a song that I really like, I just wonder what goes into the whole production side of it. So that's really cool. I'm glad we're talking about this.
Nice.
Do you think you'll play anything tonight from like the demos era? Do you ever do that and people like freak out?
Yeah, we'll play Antelope or I Got No Time, which are two big fan favorites.
Yeah, Antelope is awesome.
So one of those two we'll probably play tonight. We kind of try and give the fans a taste of each album, you know, because we're fans of music also, and we get that. Here's the thing: there's a lot of bands that get like sick of playing the hits, and they get sick of playing the favorites. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, like, people are paying their hard-earned money to come and see you, and you're an entertainer, and that's your job, is to entertain them. And I mean, for us, give the people what they want. Like, we want to make our fans happy. We want people to come to the show and have a good night off of work and hear the song that they used in their wedding, or hear the song that got them through a breakup, or hear the song that they listened to every day, the summer of 2014, or, you know, like the songs that people have made memories from or have really emotional attachments to. Like, we want to give that to them, because we as musicians or as fans of music have been to shows and been like, oh, why didn't you play that song, or you didn't play the hit, or you didn't play my favorite song, and it's kind of a letdown, and you're kind of like, oh, that's a bummer. And at the same time, it's like, yes, we have played it a million times and this and that, so you have to find a nice balance of keeping yourself inspired on stage, but also really at the end of the day for us, we're entertainers, and we want to entertain our fans, and we want everybody at the show to leave going, oh my God, that was so much fun. So there's a nice balance that we found rather than, and there was this old, I can't remember who it was, but there was this old interview. It was this blues guy, and he only had one hit. And it was one big song. He played it every night, and they're like, man, you must hate that song. He's like, I love this song. This song gave me a musical career. This song let me travel the world. And I think that's such a cool attitude to have, because everybody is always like, oh, I hate my hits. I hate playing that song. I hate playing. Everybody wants me to play Freebird. Everybody wants me to play this. Everybody wants me to play that. It's like, well, yeah, because that's your favorite, that's your most popular song. That's what people are coming to see. So give it to them. I'd rather make the 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people or whatever that come to the show happy rather than the 5 guys on stage happy. Yeah. And in turn, that's going to make us happy. So I don't see where the disconnect is for other artists that are, that don't play the hits or don't play the popular stuff.
Oh, that's so sweet of you guys. I'm really looking forward to the show. This is my first time seeing you, and I know you guys have played festivals and stuff like that, but I don't really know who else you've been on tour with. So is there anyone that you've shared the stage with that pretty much made you pee in your pants because you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm on tour with you?
Tour wise, we've played with, so many rad bands. I think more so it's it's funny because tour wise, it's been so long, but we eventually become friends with all these bands that we've toured with. Mm-hmm. I think the festivals that we play are really cool because you're playing on stage with such massive bands that you might not tour with because they're in a different genre of you. Mm-hmm. So I think festivals are probably the coolest because, some huge headliner could be playing that day and you get to go see them,
What I think is cool about your music is that different albums, they sound different. So I kind of in my head, I'm like, you know what? Back when I was listening to your demos. That
was just us in the garage. We didn't even know what an EP was.
Okay.
Hey, we should put music out,
Yeah. When I was listening to that one, I was like, man, must have been dope to see these guys with Cottonmouth Kings at that point in time. Do you ever listen to them?
No.
No? Have you ever heard of them?
We have heard of them. We've actually played some songs with them. We've played shows with them and stuff, but we weren't really aware of them until we started playing with them and that whole weed culture and things like that.
Yeah. Man, but then other albums, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could totally hear them on tour with Cypress Hill or 311 or something like that,
Yeah, when we got to go on tour with Cypress Hill and 311, definitely years and years ago, and we just recently played shows with 311. We were definitely huge fans of both of those bands when we were, growing up in high school and stuff like that. So being able to play shows with bands that kind of molded us into who we are is pretty cool.
That is so. I've never seen 311 live. They're actually on my bucket list, and to meet Nick Hexum also. That would be kind of cool.
They're phenomenal.
Are they nice?
Oh yeah, they're the sweetest guys ever. And
Sweet.
They're cool. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question about the writing process because I like writing lyrics sometimes too, but I don't read a lot. So other people, I've heard that when you read a lot, lyrics come so easy to you. And when I run out of rhymes, I go to rhymezone.com. I just wondered if you guys ever do that. Because I totally do it.
I actually do. I read a shit ton.
Okay.
I read a lot. My parents read a lot, and back in the day I used to hate it, but they would be like, okay, if you read this book, then you get to go to the toy store, or you get, then you grow up and all right, you want those new pair of skate shoes, or you want those new trucks or those new wheels or whatever. Whatever I was into at the time, whether it was video games or skating or surfing, they would use that as all right, well, you have to read this many books this year, and we'll get you this, this, and this. So they would reward me for reading books. And then I eventually found that I really liked reading books. I was really into it. I read all of Lord of the Rings before the movies came out.
Nice.
Just things like that. So that for sure helps. I think as songwriters, just vocabulary and words and things like that. And people have gotten me hey man, I got you this rhyme dictionary for your birthday, or my uncle will get me a rhyme dictionary for Christmas, and it's really gonna help you. And luckily, I haven't had to I'll thumb through it and flip through it, and it's funny because you see all the words, but it's I think as a lyricist, that should be kind of. I don't play any instruments, so I kind of think that should be part of my job is to be well versed and kind of with my vocabulary and vernacular and just all the words that you can figure out. I think I can run through most of them in my head, or sometimes you just kind of I will mumble, and just kind of mumble words, and then they'll start sounding like something, and then that'll come up. Or when it's easier sometimes when you have a direction for the song, where you're going to go, because then it's not so much about what do I need to make rhyme here, or and then you can just twist words. Like if a word doesn't rhyme correctly, just mix it up. I had this one new verse I'm rhyming with. It was like business, but it didn't rhyme with what was it? I changed it to business.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Business, because it was it was something about the Grim Reaper and that list of his.
Oh, yeah.
List of his and business don't rhyme, but list of his and business rhyme.
I love that.
So for me, that's my favorite part, is kind of figuring out those little equations and putting the puzzle pieces where they need to lie, even if you need to trim the puzzle piece or kind of tweak it or kind of break the code. Just change the word if it makes enough sense. Put enough style on it to where people still know what word you're saying. You're just kind of flipping it a little,
Yeah, it's just the way you say it. I think I saw an interview once with Eminem, and he was talking about how, the nothing rhymes with orange. And then he just went off on all these words, and I'm like, man, that's cool.
Yeah, same thing. That's the same place I got it to. Where if Eminem can take words and and change them, then why can't I?
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the way your rhymes come together, though, for sure. Everything that I've heard so far, I'm just like, man, that's cool. And I kind of want to rewind it and just to memorize the lyric. Yeah, but I guess the last and final question is, do you want to hotbox with me before or after the show's over?
We're going to have to go with after the show's over, but
all right.
You're more than welcome. I don't know if you'll be able to last, but...
I know, I probably can't, keep up with you, Rockstar. I get allergies bad when it's laced with something, but I don't know.
Yeah, we purely smoke weed just laced with acid.
See, and I haven't done acid since the 60s.
You got to make sure you get your weed from somebody that doesn't have cats, if you're allergic to cats, because I have a friend that was like, oh, I'm allergic to weed. And I was like, that's impossible. She's like, no, I swear to God, I'm allergic to weed. And I was like, that's impossible. And then we realized that the one person that we were getting it from had cats. And then we Googled it. And it was like, you think you're allergic to weed? Make sure your dealer doesn't have cats. And then we started looking at the weed, and there was cat hair and cat dander in the weed. And we were like, oh. And then we switched. We're like, oh, sorry, buddy, we can't get weed from you anymore. So we got it from somebody else. I was like, oh, I'm not allergic to weed anymore. I was like, no, you're not. It's not. You're allergic to cats.
That is nuts.
Out there is freaking out because they're super bummed because they think they're allergic to weed. You might not be allergic to weed, because I don't think that's the thing. Just make sure your dealer doesn't have cats or dogs if you're allergic to cats or dogs.
Oh, no, I love cats. But, yeah, I haven't done acid since high school.
Oh, no, I don't think
it's been a while.
Anybody in the band has either. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, cool. I like that.
We'll all make sure we're on acid tonight when we play the show, so you get a really great one.
Oh, Jared, you're so funny. So what's your favorite thing to eat? And then I'll let you go. When you're high, though.
Oh, when I'm high?
Yeah.
That's a variable. It changes.
Does it?
Whatever.
Whatever's around.
Yeah, it just depends on what the bus is, because I'm not like a sweet guy. I don't know.
There's a new flavor of Pringles, and I'm really digging it. It's called Buffalo Ranch. It's really nice and tangy.
You ever dipped spicy Cheez-Its into cream cheese?
Spicy Cheez-Its into... No, I haven't.
It's good. Try it.
Spicy. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is being recorded, so I'll go back in case I forget, because my memory sucks. Yeah,
and I think I dropped a couple curse words.
Oh, no, it's okay. It'll be fine. I don't even want to bleep them out because, I just wanted to real talk with you, so.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will see you guys tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a wonderful show. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.